looking at a proclamation in committee. Anytime something has to do with policy or legislation that we're speaking to in a proclamation, it needs to pass through for questions, for presentation committee. We don't vote on it here. We vote on it on the floor, but we need to at least give our colleagues the opportunity for discussion. I'm in agreement. I'm one of the sponsors of the proclamation around the opposition of the change to the board, and fully in agreement with the comments that have been said. I want to switch gears a little bit to Section 22 of the bill because it is the most out of place. It is nothing to do with the RTD board. It has nothing to do with the reform that the prior 21 sections of the bill speak to. It has everything to do with my district. And not only did I not know that this was being stuck into this bill, but there was never a community conversation about what it states. And what it states is that RTD and the state have determined that a particular right-of-way expansion and main rail line alignment have already been determined and are needed on this site. None of that has happened. Community has not even heard back on what the alternatives are for light rail, whether it's freight or light rail. And this is concerning the Burnham Yard property in La Alma. Those residents have not been afforded an opportunity to even see a report that's still in process by the contractor for CDOT to see what alignment considerations have taken place since they last saw it in June of 2023. So this is incredibly far ahead of anybody that is on the ground with community, having a conversation about Burnham Yard and its future. And so for that reason, this bill just seems incredibly tone deaf and off track, I think. No pun intended. But I will say that deepens my opposition to the way that this has been proposed, what it covers, and I think there is a much different way that this should have. We should have a conversation about this, and Burnham Yard and anything taking place as it relates to rail should be its own conversation. So I do encourage CDOT and the state legislators who are interested in that conversation to engage with us. So appreciate that, and handing it back to the next in queue.